Welcome to TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John, that's my cohort and commentary Ashton, and this is our NXT review. And I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all. It is possible that I will be hyperbolizing at certain parts of this show. And I ain't going to make any bones about it. I fucking loved Adam Cole's promo tonight. I loved his segment with Cross tonight. It had my quote of the year so far in it tonight. And as far as everything else, look, the opening match, the triple threat, and everything else, hot fire, hot start to the show. Some stuff in the middle I really didn't care for. Some stuff that I'm unexpectedly invested in, given the explanations they gave for it. So on the whole, when I think about the things I didn't like, the things I did like, and the things that I thought, I'll let it slide, it was acceptable, I'd give this NXT, I think I'm actually going to give it a 7 out of 10, maybe even 7.5. That's where I'm feeling.
Same.
So I didn't want to get too into it because I realized it's a two-person team. I could have done a review by myself without revved up. I was at the start. But how'd you feel about NXT tonight, man?
Did you hear what I said there?
I mean, yeah, you agreed with my numerical score, but just to go more into it, how are you feeling about everything happening?
I have more complex feelings about the Adam Cole promo. The promo itself in a vacuum was great, I'll give you that, but I have complex feelings about it. I'm very excited for the takeover matches that are being set up, and I guess I would call it a nitpick, but we'll talk about that in the first one about the takeover card and everything. So I'm giving it a 7 as well, but I think it's for relatively different reasons.
That's fair, man. That's why we have a show, right? To just get into it. So let's get into it with heat of the night. And oddly enough, I too have a nitpick about the takeover in your house card. Because man, they shaped it up fast tonight. We got 3-4 matches announced for it when I feel like we didn't know fuck all about it. I'm not the biggest fan, even though what came of it was, again, for me, an amazing Adam Cole promo that I loved. I actually went back and I watched it again before we got on here. I don't like the idea of a Fatal 5-Way. I do on paper, but I realize that another way, given that big rant that we had on Cross last week, which I encourage you guys to go and listen to that rant because we're not going to recap it verbatim here. It's almost like, okay, well, let's speed run this shit. You know what I mean? How quickly can we go through all the challengers that would make Cross credible and this and that? Now, you can look at it another way. Only one person needs to fall in a Fatal 5-Way, so it protects the other 3, because the champion obviously counts as one. And then you could still spread that out. But even so, I feel like this is we've got to make him seem like the most dominant NXT champion ever in the shortest window possible. And so I'm not a fan of the Fatal 5-Way when looked at it from that perspective. But what about you, man? You said you had a nitpick about the takeover in your house card. Was it something similar about
really mine is literally just how quickly and thrown together it feels. It feels like it was just oh man, let's slap this thing together. It's almost like NXT forgot that they had a takeover coming up, and then someone reminded them this weekend, and they were like, oh shit, we got to set up a card for that, and they slapped it together immediately, because it feels very out of nowhere to me. Don't get me wrong, a lot of it feels like it has some story behind it and some reasoning behind it, but it also feels very thrown together very quickly to me.
I mean, that's fair in a way, because I feel like with the contenders, really the funny thing is, and I gotta be fair, we always try and be fair on these reviews, even though Cole had a great segment, to me, I'll be looking forward to your thoughts when we actually get to it. Foster does make a great point. Adam Cole hasn't won a match all year, and the last time we saw him, he got beat in the main event of a takeover against Kyle O'Reilly, who he's also kind of cooled off a bit. But honestly, if we're looking at somebody that has a direct connection to Cross, Johnny Gargano looks like the most legit contender because he laid Cross out. And, he's even kind of talked about that. That's why I was like, it's Gargano. And I will say, guys, I was wrong. I was wrong, full stop. But yeah, it does feel a bit thrown together that way because it's you haven't really established these guys. I think you're more relying on what they've done in the past rather than what they're doing right now. And I never really liked that device personally. I feel like you should always kind of reestablish yourself and reprove yourself in kayfabe if you're vying for a championship. Xia Li and Mercedes being on a takeover is surprising to me. But I'm gonna qualify it as pleasantly surprising. I'm curious what these two can do, and I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. When I talked about unexpected investments for kind of my half of how I felt overall about NXT, this is the match I was talking about because I like the motivation they made for this match, going all the way back to the Mae Young Classic.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Xia more or
I
less
figured that's what you were talking about when you mentioned that you were unexpectedly emotionally invested in something that happened in the middle of the show.
Yeah, I mean, bro, we got to keep it consistent, right? And I have said before that I'd love more women's matches that don't revolve around a championship, and this is it. And, you know, I wish Xia was more experienced, but I am curious what she can do in there, because if anybody can make her look really good, it's a veteran the caliber of Mercedes Martinez. So I'm honestly really curious what they can do together. And yeah, what else is on this card? Oh, Ember and Raquel seems a bit out of nowhere. I mean, again, I get why they're doing it, but you can see that they're going to try and build it up retroactively.
It's literally like a 1, maybe 2 week build if you want to give them a little extra credit, because it's literally just the tag match from however many weeks ago that Raquel ended up beating the shit out of Shotzi, and, you know, Dakota held Ember back and made her watch. Like, that's the whole build.
Yeah, exactly. We can expect, at least I'm assuming we can expect, Bronson Reed versus Escobar at TakeOver in Your House, especially after the events of the main event tonight. I won't hold that against this card. That actually does seem like it's been given a little bit of room to breathe, because on Bronson Reed's first night as North American champion, Escobar interrupted him. Yep. So, you know, I've got no qualms with that one. And I don't know where that leaves the tag champions, though. I'm curious who they'll be defending against. Maybe it'll be
I'm guessing it's going to involve GYV, just because the GYV tried to show up at ringside and they got fought off by Thatcher and Ciampa.
I'm hoping that Thatcher and Ciampa and GYV, they can do this this tiebreaker either next week, or you said they have 2 weeks till the takeover, right? Maybe even.
I think they only have one show. I want to say, because Hell in a Cell is on the 20th, so I want to say TakeOver is on the 13th. So I want to say that TakeOver is literally the first Sunday after next Tuesday, like next Tuesday being the go-home show, basically, to TakeOver.
Oh, shit. Well, then I hope next week, then, even though it wouldn't really give a lot of time for them to develop a story as two great tag teams, maybe GYV...
Yeah. It's the 13th.
Okay.
I freaked out a little bit there, because when I first Googled it, it said June 7th, but then I realized that was talking about last year's NXT TakeOver in Your House. So this one is the 13th.
Okay. But yeah, I just hope that GYV and Thatcher and Ciampa can do a number one contenders match, GYV win, and that's where we get MSK on the card.
Yep.
And the only other match I would want, just pure conjecture, would be Frankie Monet versus Io, because I think the sooner you get Frankie Monet and those fucking bangers, the better. But I know they're going to let that breathe, and I'm totally fine with that. So, yeah, your nitpick was about the TakeOver card and just how rushed everything is in general. I particularly pinpointed the world title match. Do you have any other heats of the night or nitpicks?
I think not really a new thing, but kind of continuing on the whole thing about the card. I'm a little confused as to why Mercedes versus Xia is on TakeOver. Like, when Xia said at TakeOver, I immediately was like, wait, what?
Bro, I doubt this is the case. I just want to make that perfectly clear. I doubt this is the case. But I'm hoping the reason we haven't seen Xia and this and that is maybe because they are tightening her up in ring and kind of polishing her up. And maybe they want the takeover because they really want to get her ready for that spot. I'm hoping that's what's happening. I doubt it, again, but it'd be really nice because, again, I love the gimmick. From a production value standpoint, I think the gimmick is great. Xia needs to step up a bit more just to really tie it all together. So, like you, I was surprised. When Xia and her promo said at TakeOver, I'm like, wait, what? Nope. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. That match, I'm really going to be keeping a close eye on because I don't want it to suck. I'm really rooting for that match, but we'll have to see what they do with it.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to air out?
I'm trying to think. I don't think anything that would be new is a heat of the night. Like, obviously, you know I don't like LA Knight and the bullshit that he does, but other than that, yeah, I don't think I really have anything new. So let's get into our review.
All right, let us get into our NXT review. And we obviously get the triple threat match to start. Good energy here. You know, I liked it. They did double submission spots, where one guy is submission on a guy, but that guy is submission on another guy kind of thing. Kyle O'Reilly at one point, because Dunn got the bitter end on Gargano. O'Reilly does the diving knee. And I'm like, oh shit, is O'Reilly just going to pin like either Dunn or Gargano? But that wasn't the case. And, Gargano kind of rolled away. I think Gargano did like a suicide dive or something to both guys at one point. There was just a lot of crazy spots. It's what you'd expect. There was one of those spots, and I never really liked this, but I get that that's wrestling today, and I'm obviously not going to hold it against Kyle, where he goes for the rebound lariat, gets super kicked, and it's like, oh, there's another rope, so I guess I get another try rather than just, losing consciousness, and he gets the double lariat there. So, yeah, a lot of great spots peppered throughout this. Obviously, though, there isn't a winner because Adam Cole comes out. Now, originally, and I don't know how you felt about this, bro, I thought Adam was just going to attack Kyle.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was going to attack the other two guys.
Yeah.
So he goes after Kyle, and I'm like, oh, see, because I always had it in my head, and I don't know why, but I even thought if I was wrong about Johnny and Kyle just gets his match straight away, I thought Adam would reemerge at TakeOver in your house and screw Kyle. Shades of when Kyle got that ROH World title opportunity.
Right.
But no, Adam's like, I ain't fucking waiting. I'm doing it right now. And yeah, he lays out Kyle, he lays out Dunn, and he lays out Gargano. And, again, I'm heavily biased. I'm not going to act like I'm not. I love the energy Cole brought to this.
Yeah.
He laid them all the fuck out. Regal comes in, and I do have to agree with Foster. I love me some William Regal all day, every day. And I'm not looking for him to get fired or replaced or anything like that. I looked kind of weak tonight. I mean, your show got hijacked, and then your NXT champion straight up told you to shut up and superseded your authority, and you said nothing about that. So, not the best look for Regal tonight. But what I love is that with all this chaos, and Cole gets a cheap shot on O'Reilly as he's leaving, he's like, I'm going. That was such Kevin Owens energy to me when he was in NXT. Ember Moon comes out. I love this. I love it because I feel like when you have chaos like this, rather than letting it linger and letting these guys get up and be like, oh, what happened? The show goes on. And Ember's like, well, fuck, if there's a vacuum here, I'm going to take advantage of it. And she calls out Raquel Gonzalez. And I'm going to be honest, I had a brain fart here because at first I didn't realize why Ember was calling out Raquel. I'm like, wait, aren't you in a tag team shot? And then I'm like, oh, right, because last week. So she calls out Raquel, and Ember actually gets Raquel out of the ring. She makes her eat offense, including a forearm that looked really nice. But then Dakota attacks Ember from behind and lays her out. So again, they're teasing that whole story. These guys seem unified now. Ember, I think, said in the interview later in the night, the semi-main event segment before the tag team championship main event, I think she called Dakota Kai a lapdog or a lackey or something like that. Yeah. So again, needling the tandem of Gonzalez and Kai. But yeah, I like the energy there too. I mean, because Ember originally said with Ember's Law, I do what the hell I want, damn it. That's what I'm doing on this run. And that kind of energy is what I've been waiting for. So, yeah, I love that. How did you feel about these first two kind of segments blending into each other here? The match, Cole,
it was pretty well done. I actually, I'm a big fan of Ember Moon strictly based on her in-ring ability. I think she's an amazing actual in-ring wrestler. I've never been high on her as a promo. I've never really been all that high on her as a character. I feel like this was some of the best character/talking work that she's done in her WWE career so far. I thought that this was really good, really well done, really intense. I thought that she showed some real fire here, and I appreciated that. So I thought that was cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, I completely agree with you, brother. So what we get after that is we get an LDF promo and pretty much talking about the tag titles and what they've sacrificed to get this opportunity, and they're going to bring it home. And it's a lot about honor and the culture for them. So I always fuck with LDF, and I know you do too. Then we can skip this because it's garbage. And then we get Maverick and Dane and Hit Row and everybody. I actually saw this on, it was either on Twitter or on YouTube. I saw this segment already. But yeah, Hit Row and Maverick and Dane kind of jacking jaws. Now, I'm going to be honest, Ashton, I was in and out quite a bit between making food and I had computer stuff because I told you I'm going to have to restart it after this. I was dealing with a bunch of stuff tonight, unfortunately. Maverick and Dane and Hit Row didn't have a match tonight, right? Just to double check with you. Okay. I'm guessing that's probably going to happen next week or something. Fine. I've been itching for more Hit Row, but I'll wait. I'll be good. Everrise was also there, and they're still plugging their show, and they were kind of going after Maverick for helping Indy last week. But it's whatever. It's more comedy relief. Then again, we'll just skip this match because it's the whole LA Knight Cameron Grimes angle. Although I will say, as an aside, I get it for now, but I'm hoping it doesn't last too much longer. I don't understand why Cameron Grimes is still vying for Ted's affection, so to speak, when you got laid out by LA Knight last week and Ted just laughed about it. So, like, I don't know. I wouldn't be looking for the approval of a man that just saw me get assaulted and was like, wow, sucks for you, Q $1 million man laugh. I don't know. But after that, we get Oney Lorcan and Austin Theory kind of have an altercation because we see the three guys backstage, Dunn, Gargano, and O'Reilly. And Lorcan saying, get that camera out of here. All I know is if it wasn't for Adam Cole, Pete Dunne would be facing Cross to take over in your house. And Theory's like, no, Papa John would have won and faced Cross to take over in your house. And then I was waiting for somebody to be Kyle O'Reilly's advocate, and that never happened. I thought, well, was Bobby Fish going to show up? And be like, nah, Kyle would have gone to take over, but no, Kyle has no friends apparently, and that's okay. So then we get Teddy DiBiase being interviewed, and he's like, LA Knight really dropped the ball tonight, and Cameron proved that he doesn't just have the brains, he's got the brawn. I feel like he got that mixed up, because Cameron didn't even get physical tonight. I feel like he should have said, Cameron proved that he doesn't just have the brawn, he has the brains too, but he kind of short-circuited a little bit, but forget about that. Adam Cole makes a beeline.
Is Javar's in the house? Can we call this Boomer Brain?
I know, right? Yeah, I think it was. I think it was 100% Boomer Brain on the part of the $1 million Boomer.
Only this time, I was going to say, this time it's actually literal because he is a boomer, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. And then after that, we get it. We get the fucking Adam Cole promo that, again, I've already said I've watched twice. My quote of the year came from this so far anyway. I mean, there's still a good bit of time in the year left. We're beginning June today. But I fangirled enough, and I'm going to continue to when the ball comes back to me, but it's only fair. I am really curious to hear your thoughts on this promo, brother.
Dude, okay. So, first of all, we agree this felt very worked shooty, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Second of all, is there supposed to be a babyface between these two guys?
That is a good point. I don't know, because I've already told you with Cross, I feel like they want to keep him a tweener to keep his field of challengers as open as possible.
Yeah.
Whereas
I got very serious babyface vibes from Adam Cole in this, not only because he was talking shit on Cross and how he can't wrestle and stuff, but also because he kept doing the Bay thing, and that I feel like is exclusively an Adam Cole babyface thing.
Yeah. Yeah, which is weird, because he laid three guys out, including Kyle, who is a babyface, but the other two guys are heels, even though Johnny's more of a comedic.
So this feels like I don't even know what to feel about this, because Adam is literally just a couple months removed from one of the hottest heel turns we've seen in a long time, and having a literal blood feud with the guy that it felt like they were trying to build up to be the next babyface, like the next face of NXT, and now he's face again, I think, maybe?
Honestly, dude, you could extend that criticism, I think, to most of the field in this five-way. Because, Kyle O'Reilly is the only clearly defined babyface to me. And the only reason I say that is Dunn is a clearly defined heel, I would say.
Yes.
Cole is in the middle. Cross is in the middle, to me, based on how you interpret this feud. And even Johnny, because he's comedic with the way, he's not like this callous heel like a Blackheart Ciampa when he was on top of the world a few years ago. Or anything like that. So, a lot of the alignments here.
This five-man field kind of represents a spectrum in a way.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that, actually, 100%.
Because you've got O'Reilly as the clear-cut, pure babyface, Dunn as the clear-cut, pure heel, and all three other guys are kind of varying shades of gray somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
I would say, I mean, you can disagree with me on this. I think this is just how I feel. I feel like Cross is the next most heelish after Dunn, then Gargano, then Cole, which, again, it's weird to me that I'm putting Cole as, the closest to babyface out of those guys, because that would put him closest to O'Reilly, which is who he's in the biggest feud right now with.
Yeah.
Am I off here feeling this way?
No, you're not off base, just the opposite. My tone, just so you understand, is I'm really thinking through this. I think you make a lot of salient points. I don't think Foster made a great point, too, in the chat. He said, this is kind of my problem. There are too many badasses in NXT. I kind of need more characters rather than tough guys. And I think Foster wants more clearly defined, not to speak for you, Foster, I apologize, but I'm assuming you want more clearly defined bad guys on the product, and I can't necessarily blame you. I mean, hell, even LDF with Escobar, when he talks about honor and legacy and posting pictures with his son, and like after he beat Devlin, he was kind of on the stage with his son, but he's a heel though, right? But he's another heel that kind of like drips cool. I love him to death, and I'll advocate for him every week. But I think this 5-way, and even thinking about some of the undercard, shows that we really don't have a lot of clearly defined heels, and I think that's kind of a problem. Because how are we supposed to react to this? You know, I don't know. I think you make a good point there. Anything else you want to say about the promo though, besides like alignment issues?
I think that about covers my nitpick. The thing is, I'm only being nitpicky about it because you are right. It was a great promo from Cole. And I felt uncomfortable because I didn't want to, I felt almost dirty for wanting to cheer Cole and get behind Cole, knowing that he's supposed to be a heel and he's supposed to be in a blood feud with Kyle O'Reilly right now. It just felt weird.
Bro, I'm just gonna, again, keep it 100 with you. We can agree, we can disagree. I'm just gonna quote my tweet. That was a reply to Javaris. Because I said Adam Cole is eviscerating Cross on the mic right now, and I fucking love it. And Javaris, and I smiled because it came from Javaris, because Javaris always comes in and he's like, John, I'm gonna need you to stop simping for this white man, in reference to Cole. And Javaris said, I'm 100% for Adam winning, to which I replied to him. I said, bro, all jokes aside, saving that for the review, but I've even just decided to just keep him home, because I was going to do my usual, I listened to that promo, and Adam Cole's in the right. I honestly, unironically do feel that way. But I said, Adam Cole in one segment looked more legit to me than every other contender.
Yep.
And that's another reason I kind of have a problem with this 5-way, because look, I like Kyle O'Reilly. I'm rooting for Kyle O'Reilly. But he has cooled down since that TakeOver victory against Cole.
Yes. Well, and that feels very deliberate. It feels like they have very deliberately and intentionally cooled him down since then.
Yes, and I would agree with you there. There's no contention there. Dunn, I'm sorry, he keeps talking about being the baddest, but I'm not really feeling it, because I feel like his wins
Dunn
from a qualitative
is hands down the worst part of this whole thing, in my opinion. And it's sad that I say that, because we've already kind of also agreed that he is the most clearly defined heel in the group, but he also just feels out of place more than anyone else. Gargano makes sense. Did Gargano end up being the longest reigning North American champion of all time so far?
He might have been. I'm not sure. It wouldn't
Regardless,
surprise me.
Gargano is a long reigning North American title holder, former NXT champion, I believe. O'Reilly is very clearly, he's been kind of in that contention for almost a year now for the world title. Who else? Adam Cole, obviously former, longest reigning, whatever. Cross is the champion. Everyone there makes sense. Dunn makes no sense here. I'm literally just thinking about, Dunn, can you focus on trying to win the North American title before you go punching up like this? This is ridiculous.
Well, yeah, I'm really glad we're having this conversation, because between our sentiments and getting to learn more about how chat thinks, a lot is really becoming clear to me. Again, one, that we don't have nearly as many clearly defined heels as I thought we did. I think I was kind of laboring under a delusion that, oh yeah, we got a lot of heels, when you really inspect that sentiment, we don't. And as far as Cole's promo, in one segment to me, he looked more like a contender than the other three, because obviously Cross is the champion.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, my quote of the year that I keep referring to, he said, this whole company has gotten behind you to make you look special. They give you the lights, the music, the fog machine, the girl. You know what they do to make Adam Cole look special? They ring the friggin' bell.
Yep.
Oh my God, dude!
That to me is the part that felt like a worked shoot. That was literally Adam Cole speaking to us and being like, yes, you're right. This guy sucks. He's all smoke and mirrors. I'm better than him, and I'm going to prove it.
Dude, again, I'm biased here. I've owned that since the intro. I got so fucking amped up from this segment from Cole and his mic work tonight, because he spoke with a passion and intensity that I have missed from Cole, which almost makes me wonder if he's a better challenger than champion, because I love Hungry Adam Cole. I listened to both his NXT theme, and you know what? I think I've already admitted this, but I'm admitting it again. I like his New Japan theme. Is it just him saying his name over and over? Yeah, but you know what? I think it's was excellent. And I listened to that too. And I turned the fuck up while doing it. And I liked it. So yeah, this was fucking, dude, again, all seriousness, simmering down just enough to keep it a serious review. I love this energy. I loved when he cleared off the announce table. Because here's the thing. You saying work shoot is exactly right. Because, and I want to be careful with my words here, obviously no one can replace CM Punk. I feel like he was they caught lightning in a bottle with Punk. And I still think about some of his promos sometimes and I smile about it. But it really did have that energy of like, man, this place has been sucking without me. They've done everything to get behind you and make you special. You're not Adam Cole, baby. I love it. I love it. Like, we've joked before. It's been like a meme on this fucking show. You know, Cult of Cole, I'll be out of it and you'll be in. I feel like we take turns. Like, you'll be in it, I'll be out of it. I feel like I'm really in it after this segment. I'm done in the robe. I'm ready to read the sermon. And today, in the world of Adam Cole, he woke up and the sun shed its ear because Adam Cole exists. Like, I'm ready to testify, motherfuckers. And, man, like, now, to be fair, I think another reason I'm this amped up is because you and I know non-kayfabe stuff about Cross that we obviously find very unsavory, to put it as nicely as possible, to keep a serious, grounded discussion. So, Cole raking Cross over hot coals, baby, really made me smile. Because I'm like, and dude, I don't know if you caught this. I don't even know if it's the same fan. Because they sounded like the same fan that told LA Knight, nobody wants you here. But they were like, yeah, you tell him, Adam. And I think they said earlier, shut up, Cross. So, like, I think I'm almost curious if fans will turn on Cross if they make him have a really
obnoxious... Or if they have already.
Or if they have already. Because
I definitely heard some fans cheering for Adam when he was talking shit about Cross.
Yeah. People still making short jokes of Cole. And that's another thing, too. This man, this beautiful, perfect man. I almost did the Lecter, but I stopped myself.
Wow.
Oh, God. Like, Cross was like, little man. And he didn't let this bulbous beta bitch get in his head. He's like, no, you know what? My height's just fine. I'm happy to be a short king. You know why? Because I'm the king of NXT, baby. And you know something else? Like, this promo...
Just think about the now, but also the future. And when I really try and think about this, I feel more confused than excited.
Yeah, like, I definitely agree, because there's no clearly defined... Well, there's just no clear alignments in general, we'll say.
Yeah, and
no
even like, since this is unrelated to the actual subject at hand, but I kind of want to bring it back a little bit, because we did kind of get past this already. Even, like, the LA Knight Cameron Grimes feud, tonight Grimes felt heelish.
Yeah, a little bit. You know, and I think the only reason he kept, to me anyway, his babyface momentum was that he distracted a clearly defined heel to help a babyface win.
Yeah.
So he's like fucking with a clearly defined heel, which babyfaces have done before. But I get what you mean, though. Because it's like, well, when you do these tactics, especially because Grimes only seemed to hint at being babyface last week, it's like, you know what I think it is, man? And I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I feel like I'm coming to this conclusion because I think you had a great example with Grimes LA Knight. I feel like they're almost trying to rush these transitions a little bit. They're not really laying the groundwork for them and letting them breathe. It's almost like, oh, they're a babyface now, you know, get behind them. Or, oh, we mean for them to be a tweener, so boo some things, but I guess cheer others because he's cool and he's got this production value. Like, there doesn't seem to be a lot of development, right? You know, in these alignments, in these new alignments, or whatever. I don't know. It just feels a bit rushed to me. Again, I think you had a great example with Grimes LA Knight. It's like Grimes only last week hinted at being a babyface, and now we don't even know what to think. It's like, you know, there's not really much of a process there. I don't know.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm just, I'm, you know, I think there's also something for us to talk about regarding the fact that Adam Cole just showed up for the first time in weeks and wreaked havoc, completely changed his character from the last time we saw him and started going after the world title. I have to wonder if there was a call-up planned and it got disposed of.
Oh, God, dude. You know, if that's the case, I'm the guy, like, shaking my fist at the sky and I'm saying some fucking gibberish, because how long have I been asking for Adam Cole to get called up?
Yeah.
And if you're right, like, God damn it. Like, of
No,
course.
seriously, like it really, that's what it feels like, isn't it? It's like he disappears for weeks. Like I can't even remember the last time we saw Adam in NXT. It probably was the big match against O'Reilly, but I don't even remember, honestly. I think we've seen him once or twice since then, but it's been a while since we've seen him. And now his first night back, it's like we hit the reset button. So it really does make me think, like, they were planning on the last time we saw Adam Cole being the last time we saw him at all in NXT because he was getting called up. And then the call up got scrapped, and now he's just kind of stuck in purgatory, coming back to NXT with this new attitude and going after the world title again. I don't know.
Bro, I know I'm stating the obvious here, so forgive me, but like, WWE is in such a weird place. Because the thing is, dude, if you're right, I can see it, man. I really can. And you know who else I've been thinking about so much more, like, with each week? Where the hell is Roderick Strong? Like, I even just went on his Twitter, like, a low-key, with how WWE has been operating, I just expect Roderick to get released in a few weeks. Like he sent in those papers for NXT. We're expecting him to go to, like, Raw or SmackDown. But in Cole's defense, and I guess in NXT's defense, if a call-up was planned and then they squashed it, remember that interview he did several weeks ago with that one guy? He did say with Cross, you know, he's no Adam Cole. He hasn't really been tested yet. We'll see how he does. Yeah. So even then he was kind of hinting at, like, well, he was thrust in the spotlight too much too soon, maybe, kind of thing. So they laid the groundwork if they had to, like, kind of, like, thrust him back into the scene, just in case other plans didn't work out. So I at least do appreciate NXT for that. Foster, I don't know, but if you figure that out, please tell me, because I miss Malcolm Bivens and Tyler Rust. But, yeah, it's just, this Fatal 5-Way is weird. Again, I don't even like that we're doing a Fatal 5-Way. I really thought that we were going to do Gargano Cross. I wouldn't have even minded Cross O'Reilly. Because honestly, after that, and see, here's another problem too. And well, okay, let me say potential problem, because I don't know what NXT is going to do about it. Because after that showdown between Cole and Cross, you kind of have to do a one-on-one match eventually, don't you? Because, like, Cole talked a lot of shit there. And I don't know if you can resolve all that shit in a Fatal 5-Way when either Cole or Cross has to be pinned or submit. Unless Cole does eat the decision, which I don't even know if I like, because I kind of want that to be Pete Dunne. Or Gargano. And more likely it will be Gargano. So I don't know. I really don't know what NXT is doing here. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just I'm really confused. So, but yeah. Cole clears the announce table.
Tavares with the question of the week, where the fuck is Tyler Rust?
Yes. I want to know where he is, and I want to know where Malcolm Bivens is, and I want them on my TV. And next time Malcolm Bivens is like, oh, we're going to watch Scooby-Doo WrestleMania Mysteries, don't fucking start the movie and then abandon me right at the beginning. What are you, my father? God. I'm sorry, this got into psychoanalytic territory. But anyway, Cole is posing on the table, says that he runs NXT. He then chucks a water bottle at Cross, and again, I said that I would say this.
Stay hydrated, bitch.
Yeah. Cole. That took me out. God damn it. Cole is just being a quality hydro homie. My co-ordinator commentary is 100% right. And I said that I would say this, and I feel like I gave enough serious analysis and I indulged enough serious commentary to say this. Cole was in the right with everything that he did tonight. He wasn't wrong, and if you think that he's wrong, I don't know what to tell you. I guess you're just, suck less. So, yeah, Cult of Cole, baby. All right, after this, what did we get after this? Oh, we got Candice and Indy. Ashton, how are you dealing with the emotional turmoil that is Index? How are you feeling about that, bud?
I guess I'm in the denial stage of, mourning, because I still think that there's a chance that it could be a thing again.
I feel like Indy doesn't have the hope that you have, because she's been listening to 80s power ballads.
I know, but then Dexter found the headphones later on while the music was still playing, and he put them on and liked it. They still have a connection.
Wrestling is amazing when this is unironically, and even after the Cole segment and everything, and I loved it. But as a story, Indy and Loomis have got the best story in NXT right now. I'm still loving this, and I want to know, man, what the conclusion of this is. They have me invested. They have me on the line.
A wrestling wedding. That's the only correct answer.
Every time, man. Every time. Candice is very concerned, but before that, though, interestingly, she says that Cross is stupid. Everybody with the correct opinions tonight. Gargano's going to win. Her husband's going to win.
Between Elias abandoning Jackson Riker and now Adam Cole returning to put Karrion Kross in his place and Indy calling him stupid, is WWE suddenly having a change of heart?
If not, well, because like with WWE, I would specifically say maybe just the locker room, because they're like, listen, Vince is going to keep these guys because he identifies with them, but we don't have to. Fuck these guys.
But they're getting written for, though. It's not like they're going against what's told of them to say these things.
That is fair. I don't know, man. Maybe, and I hate to say this, but see, like, I never know when the cynicism should begin and end, because you never know if they look at Twitter feeds and they see how
a union.
No, I don't think so. I wouldn't go that far.
I'm memeing.
Oh, okay. It breaks my heart that you're memeing, because I fucking wish.
I know.
But I almost wonder if, like, marketing teams, like, get all the Twitter, like, analytics and the data and all that, and they're like, man, these fucking marks are, like, angrily tweeting about these guys. Maybe we should, like, I don't know, feed their delusions and act like these performers are on their side to get the reactions that we want or whatever. But then again, like, the way is a heel group. Elias is apparently the heel in the breakup. You told me Riker's position as the babyface, which, Jesus Christ.
I mean, they could literally just release Riker and it wouldn't make a difference.
I disagree with you somewhat there, because it would be a net positive for the company.
I get what you mean. Right. You're absolutely right. But I'm more saying, like, it's not like we heard from Riker afterwards where he cut a fiery babyface promo. He's just positioned as the guy that got abandoned.
Yeah. You watch, though, his fiery babyface promo will be like, Elias didn't love America as much as I did. And that's the whole fucking feud.
No, why would you say this?
You know what? Your despairing voice is only despairing because you know I'm maybe possibly right, and that's
You're giving Vince ideas, or at least reading his playbook.
Oh, he won't remember this. Maybe, possibly. I don't know.
If it's in his playbook, he'll remember it.
Yeah, I guess. He just has to, I don't know, read it 20 times over or whatever the fuck. But Candice also calls out Poppy, because we know Poppy's going to be, you know...
I'm looking forward to next week's Poppy performance.
I want her and Io to jam out together in the ring. Damn it, I miss Io. I realize now in her absence how much she brought to the product. We love you, Io. I resaw the clip recently of her doing splits after the one guy's like, go back to China, Japanese, bitch. Split? Oh, God, Io, you're queen shit.
That had the ultimate mood of Japanese bitch, now eat ass.
Everyone can eat ass. I'm turning up. I need to calm down. So, yeah, Candice is obviously very angry about this Poppy, and, she's going to try and be the next Bad Bunny, huh? Ridiculous. Indy, we're out of here. What are you listening to? Nothing. 80s power ballads? Oh, thank God I made this match. Let's go. I love the way, man. This is also some of the best stuff Candice has ever done. It's been so good for Johnny and Candice both. So after this, what did we get after this? Oh, the Carmelo Hayes little video package. Really cool. And kudos to Barrett, who is fucking great as a commentator, by the way. I love Barrett more and more each week.
I didn't realize Carmelo got a video package. That's really cool.
Yeah, and Barrett even said to precede the video package that he used to be Christian Casanova, so he acknowledged it.
That's
and he's like,
awesome.
Now he's Carmelo Hayes. Yeah, and Carmelo Hayes, I'm going to be truthful, I forget some of the stuff that he said in the video package, but, you know, it's the typical, I'm puffing my chest out, I'm going to be the next. Then we get Xia Li's promo on Mercedes, again, more or less saying, like, Mae Young Classic, you humiliated me. Really clever motivation here. I liked it. And again, I'd be a hypocrite if I said, like, no, because I've been wanting more women's matches that don't revolve around the titles, so this definitely is the ticket. After that, we get Dexter Lumis listening to Indy's music, and I didn't catch this, but apparently Beth said on commentary he had a single tear roll down his face. So, like, I don't know what's happening, but if that happened, cool. You know, we stand.
They still have a connection.
Yeah, we stand men that are able to healthily, emotionally express themselves in this house. So, good for you, Dexter. Men are allowed to cry. After that, we get Kushida versus Carmelo Hayes. What'd you think about this match, man? Because I know you and I were both hyped.
Fun. Dude, Hayes is shredded. I do not remember him being this buff when he wrestled in NEW. I feel like he was on the skinnier side, like almost built like fucking Wes Lee right now for MSK. Like he was, I mean, I'm not saying Wes Lee's skinny, but like relative to to Carmelo here, I think it's a pretty fair comparison. But yeah, he's put on like probably a good 15, 20 pounds of pure muscle. Very impressive physique. Comes out here, does all kinds of crazy athletic shit. I love the overall packaging, the performer, the gimmick. I dig the whole thing, man. I'm into it. I want to see more of him. I'm glad that he kind of got to burst onto the scene with a really good competitive match against the CW champion.
Bro, I completely agree with you. I'm going to be honest with you, and this shouldn't surprise anybody because I know my memory can be really bad at times. Because of how much he bulked up, I wouldn't have even known that was Christian Casanova if Barrett didn't, like, go in about that. And then I'm like, where have I heard that name? And then I'm like, oh, yeah, and then you sent your message, and I'm like, oh, man, that's so cool for him. Because I know, like, those NEW shows were really kind of a bore on the whole, if I'm honest. But, like, he was definitely one of the standouts of those shows. So really good for him. Great back and forth matchup. Ultimately, though, Kishida does get the win with the hoverboard lock, and then Carmelo gets his respect after the match. Like Kishida acknowledges him and stuff like that. We then get an MSK promo, pretty much talking about, well, what has LDF done? They're talking about their sacrifices, how they fought to get here, but like, they're not taking our titles tonight, and we haven't seen it lately. And it's MSK all night and all day. Then we get Frankie Monet. Reading tweets about her debut, and of course they're all positive and glowing. By the way, quick aside, happy anniversary to Frankie and Johnny today. Their 3rd-year anniversary today.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And Frankie says she's only getting started, and we believe it. The sooner they get that title on her NXT, the better. We then get Zoe and Zeta versus The Way. I want to ask you something, partner. Was I the only one that felt like Dexter Lumis was going to come out? Because it seemed like he was going to go to the ring with the headphones on and maybe give Zoe and Zeta the win here.
I did not get that vibe at all.
Okay, then it was only me then. Okay. Because I was honestly, dude, getting a little excited because I'm like, oh, man, could we potentially have 3 women's matches at a TakeOver? Because I was thinking, right, you obviously have the NXT Women's Championship, which we know is going to be Ember, Raquel. We're doing Xia Li, Mercedes, and I'm like, are they going to give Zoe and Zeta the win here because Indy's distracted, and we're going to do Zoe and Zeta running it back versus The Way for the titles? But that did not happen. The Way gets the win, which honestly, thinking about it, I like Zoe, and I really like Zeta, and I like the idea of them being in a team with each other because that kind of both cools them down in a way while still elevating them in a nice, organic rate. But The Way, I think, need to continue to be booked strong here since they're still relatively fresh champions. And so I think them winning was the right call here, and I love the double team finish here. I think they call it the Wicked Savage or whatever because it was the Wicked Stepsister from Candice, and then I don't know what Indy calls her elbow because I know it's not the Savage elbow because that'd be like Randy Savage. Yeah. No, I think it's Pretty Savage. I think that's what Indy calls it, Pretty Savage, and then so together it's Wicked Savage. So, yeah, Wicked Savage double team gets the win here for The Way. Nothing with Dexter, like, after the match or whatever. That's why I'm kind of checking in on Indy's Twitter every now and again to see if, like, how she reacts to things, like running it back. I wonder if she knows that Dexter's listening to the music. And, again, I'm curious how that's all going to culminate. We then get a Mercedes Martinez promo. More or less says, like, you say, I'm in the way of your destiny. No, you're in my way. Back to the title. And more or less, like, it's on at TakeOver. Another Diamond Mine vignette. I'm really curious what this is going to end up being, but we already
I've started honestly, like I'll watch these, but I read nothing into them. I'm aware of their existence and I watch them, but I basically ignore their existence because it's just not worth talking about until we get more.
Exactly. Unlike your face, which is worth talking about all the time, in this man's opinion, anyway. So after that, we get Ember Moon interview. And yeah, more or less, she's going to take out the lackey Dakota Kai, and then a takeover. She's going to take what matters most to Mercedes, NXT Women's Championship. Okay, good luck with that.
To Raquel.
Yeah, to Raquel. Take what matters most to Raquel. Again, good luck with that. I doubt it, but we're rooting for you.
We're going to root for pretty much anyone that goes up against Raquel for more than one reason.
Absolutely. So then after that, we get our main event. I want you to talk about this first, man. How did you feel about MSK versus LDF? How did you feel about this bowl of alphabet soup that you got served?
These guys always put on such great matches. Another fun one for the books. Honestly, felt a little bit underwhelmed by just the time. I feel like this should have gone longer, personally, but again, it's like they're limited by TV time and stuff. I think it only got like 15 minutes, and 15 minutes for these two teams just isn't ever going to feel like enough. It was fun though. We got your usual crazy MSK shit, LDF being highly coordinated as always. Grizzled Young Vets came out at one point and then got fought to the back by Thatcher and Old Man Champa. And yeah, MSK ended up retaining after LDF came really fucking close.
Oh, dude, I love LDF more and more each week. I'm going to state the obvious here, particularly to you, because you've done new for a long time. Raul Mendoza's a fucking beast.
Yeah,
dude. He had my favorite spot in this fucking match where he walked the ropes and he did that drop kick.
Yep.
I popped for that shit, dude. I'm like, oh, fuck. And he did it all with, like, the nose guard. Like, man, This dude's a badass, man. I love it. I love it. Foster, I love your energy there. Yeah, Javaris, I had the same feeling because I was waiting for Bronson Reed. But you know what, though? I gotta say, as another side note, I love that LDF is legitimately a faction that helps each other. And, like, the leader doesn't just talk about helping the other people, but actually does it. Because he did try and help Mendoza and Wild win the tag titles when he threw, like Foster said, Wes Lee into the steps. And this isn't like one of those factions where, like, the leader pays lip service, but they get all the help done for them, and they never give any of it back. Yeah. Like, Santos was legitimately there for these guys, and then Bronson squashed him like a pancake, and I hate you. I hate you so much.
You're just never going to like Bronson Reed, I feel like.
No, and I guess that's a colossal mountain he'll never climb. So, yeah, he just mows Escobar down out of nowhere. I'm going to be honest, I was half tempted because I was already turned up on the Cole segment to at David Otunga and be like, this is literally a hit and run. He like sped up into him, crashed him against a wall, and then posed about it and was all like fucking hunky-dory about it. Sue his fucking ass, but I don't think it's tenable, unfortunately. So yeah, champions stand tall. I am sad. I am sad. I love LDF. I can't help it. But that's the way the world works. And no, unfortunately, I don't have a sock puppet. Vague Bo Burnham reference. If any of you like stand-up comedy and just skits and stuff like that, I highly recommend you check out his Inside special on Netflix. It was fucking amazing.
Yeah,
that
quick
was
plug there for no reason.
Yeah, just really entertaining, and I listened to a lot of stuff again today. So yeah, no, see, Javaris gets it. Santos should sue. That was just repugnant, honestly. That's the kind of champion you want to be. Weird flex, but okay. That was NXT. Do you have any other thoughts you want to share about it?
I haven't.
Okay, well, that's all that matters. Next segment, high spots and low shot. You know what? I'm going to say my low shot. I'm going to keep it really basic. I'm going to say Zoe and Zeta are my low shots because you've got a non-title match with the champions, and we know the WWE rule of thumb. If you beat the champions rather than being the champions, well, you just get another shot at the champions. So they had a shot at contendership, more or less, and they couldn't seal the deal. So I'm going to say Zoe and Zeta are my low shots.
Can I go on a little bit of a tangent here, man?
Brother, with how much I've talked tonight, I would welcome a tangent from your beautiful face. You go ahead.
So I don't know if you and I have ever had this conversation. I've had this conversation with Just Alex, formerly Deluxe Man, and he, I don't think, agrees with me. I think he thinks that I'm being ridiculous, but I'm kind of curious what you think here. In my opinion, The Rock was bad for the wrestling business as a whole.
Is it because his sense of charisma and mic work came at the expense of everybody else's credibility?
Pretty much. You said it in more words than I would, but basically, it's because he went out of his way to cut everyone down that he worked with, and in doing so, he made everyone else look worse. Because if he cuts you down and then beats you, you basically look like a scrub. And he did that a lot. He would put people over in the ring sometimes, but he won a lot more often than he lost, and no matter whether he won or lost, he would put everyone down on the mic and make everyone look like in his words, jabroni. Right?
Yeah.
And when you go out of your way to make your opponent look bad, I think Chris Jericho, who I don't have much respect for, but I think as a wrestler, he's worthy of respect, would definitely agree with me when I say that it's bad for business to put your opponents down, because if you beat him, who'd you beat? And if you lose to him, it makes you look real bad because you just beat a jabroni, you know?
Exactly, yeah.
So I'm saying all this to get around to a certain somebody decided to get on the mic and tear down their opponent tonight and tried to make their opponent look bad and insulted their opponent and then proceeded to lose to them. So my low shot is LA Knight. Easiest low shot of my fucking life.
Oh, nice. Yeah, fuck that dude. And it's perfect with the Dwayne connection because you know he wants to be The Rock so bad.
Exactly. Exactly. See, I had a connection there. I told the story. I made it all the way back around and we got back to the beginning.
Hey, you want to know something? I'm so proud of you. That was amazing. Don't really care if there's not much weight behind this. I had such a great time with this. Adam Cole. Adam fucking Cole is my high spot.
Is that the easiest high spot of your life?
It really is, dude. Like, not even a thought. Because, you know what? Sometimes high spot should just mean who made me feel my highest watching this fucking show. And it was Adam Cole, without a doubt. And let's be real. Because apparently, now this is again where it doesn't make sense to me kayfabe-wise. And this would be another nitpick that I don't think we went enough in on. And I'm just going to do that here, if I may. You really did make Regal look bad tonight. Because he said, Cole, I know what you're trying to do, and it's not going to work. But then your NXT champion, who I'm sorry, because you're GM, your authority still supersedes theirs. Because you can strip titles, you can vacate titles, you've done it before, tells you, and I quote, shut up. I don't care what you think. I certainly don't care what Cole thinks. What matters is what I want. And then because of Cross, even though you just said, I know what you're trying to do, Cole, you're not going to get what you want. Cross now has got a 5-way. And so I will say, honestly, honorary low shot Regal. Because Regal really got bitched out tonight, like authority-wise. But high spot, yeah, Adam Cole, not only because he cut one of the best promos I've heard Cole cut in a long time, at least, if we're going to do a minimum, at least since the promo he cut on McAfee after McAfee punt kicked him and then tweeted about him being a beta maniac. This is the best promo Cole has cut. And honestly, I would put this promo above that one only because I feel like Cole wasn't trying to pander or anything else. He just really believes in himself that much. And honestly, I fucking love it. I really do. It's not an I love douchebags thing. Nah, it's an I love Adam Cole thing. The dude, all he had to do was get in Cross's head, and Cross can act like he's in control, and we do what I want. Bro, you got fucking worked. Cole said that you weren't him and that he's better than you, and you were just like, no, you're not.
But you're short.
You're short, and I have the title. Shut your fucking mouth. You got worked. You put yourself in a 5-way, which normally, you know, you'd think, wow, why would you reduce your odds that low? But it's you, so we all know what's going to happen. But Cole got a title shot tonight, and that's fucking amazing. He did it just by talking. Oh, the 3 other guys had to kill each other, and Cole just grabbed a microphone. Like, I rest my fucking case, Your Honor. I rest my case.
That is very
Cole's
CM Punk of him, isn't it?
Yeah. Goddamn, man. So, who's your high spot?
I've been kind of debating 2 different people. I think I'm going to give my honorary high spot to the Z team because they had a really good showing tonight, even though they lost. But my actual high spot's going to go to Ember Moon, believe it or not. I think that she had a, like I said, one of the best promos she's ever cut on the main on WWE that I've seen in her WWE career, and she got herself a takeover match with Raquel for the title.
Bro, I love that reasoning because if you're Ember, you went from being in a tag team to being in a women's championship match at a takeover.
In a week.
Way to land on your in a week.
Yeah.
Way to land on your fucking feet. God damn. Yeah, dude, I completely really. It's funny that you and I have very similar energies with our high spots because these were people that just kind of took their destiny into their own hands and they got championship matches because of it. Oh man. So, guys, that was NXT. This has been TWitWoW. Thank you for the 5-pound super chat there, Paul.
Oh, thank you, Paul. That's a sticker. That's a super sticker, I think is what it is.
A super sticker, and it's probably because we have this is our 700th episode.
It is 700th.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Paul. Hey, it's because of loyal viewers like you guys that we've been able to go 700 episodes, so thank you, if anything. But yeah, this has been TWitWoW, the best for 700 episodes running. A wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans on the web today. I'm John. That's my co-written commentary Ashton. Guys, be sure to like the video as you file out. The more likes you leave, the more likely you are to be the top result for NXT reviews on YouTube. And when you're the best at what you do, the top is the only place that you belong, so please leave that like. Be sure to subscribe, click the bell icon so you never get miss any of that TWitWoW goodness. Leave a comment down below when this video is done processing. Talk to us. How do you feel about the Fatal 5-Way and NXT TakeOver in your house? And given our nice discussion, our substantive discussion about alignments and lack of proper heels in NXT, who is the babyface in your mind after everything that's gone down tonight? Who do you think is the clearly defined heel? Maybe for some it isn't even Pete Dunne. I'd be surprised by that, but I'd love to hear from you guys. Who will you be rooting for at TakeOver in your house? Who is your babyface going into this match after that segment? The answer's clear to me. It's Adam Cole, baby. So be sure to comment down below. We'd love to hear from you. Check out everything we're involved in the description box. I, of course, love to give special attention to the TWitWoW Patreon. You can check it out below. Check out all our offerings and everything. The two that I always like to point out. If you donate $1, you get additional Q&A questions. Q&A this month will be June 24th because we do it the last Thursday of every month. So the last Thursday of June is on the 24th. And if you donate $1, you get 2 additional Q&A questions because currently non-Patreon donors only get 3 Q&A questions. So if you donate $1, that means you get 5 Q&A questions. Of course, if I were you, I'd just donate $3 because you get the Q&A questions and you also get access to the TWitWoW Discord. We, talk about all sorts of stuff there, and we do Among Us Mondays. It's a great community, great group of people, really wonderful. So come be a part of that community. If you're not yet, we'd greatly appreciate it. Follow us both on Twitter. I'm at John_TWitWoW. My pinned tweet is dedicated to collecting Q&A questions. You can submit your Q&A questions, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Discord. Of course, I think my pinned tweet is the easiest place to go because it's literally right there. It's the first thing you see on my profile. And again, non-Patreon donors, 3 Q&A questions. If you donate to the Patreon, you get 5. Ashton's pinned tweet is the TWitWoW schedule for the month. Now, he's got the first couple days of June on the current schedule. I know he'll be swapping that out in a few days for a proper June one. But all we really have for June here, because it goes all the way up to the 5th before getting cut off, is our SmackDown review at 10. Wednesday and Thursday, we've got nothing. Because I think are we just waiting for the Stardom Dream Cinderella show to drop? Brother, is that what's happening there? Okay, so we are waiting for that to drop. So maybe this could change, but I don't know. We'll have to see. I know those Dream Cinderella shows do take some time, so we'll just be patient. And when it drops, you'll get your best Stardom coverage here on TWitWoW. So yeah, guys.
If it goes up tomorrow, we'll live react to it at 5. Thursday, we'll do it at 5. Friday, we'll do it at 4.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys heard it from the man himself. But just going by what the schedule actually says and not what we think it will say, you can see us again Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Although, again, I am half expecting some Stardom coverage in there. But again, just going by the schedule, Friday at 10, SmackDown review. We're barreling down the road to Hell in a Cell, hoping to get some matches announced. And by matches, I mean actual Hell in a Cell matches. Because we know that Drew Lashley's taking place again. We don't know, though, if that's going to take place in the cell or not. And, so we'll be tuning into SmackDown for our filet mignon, as our tribal chief likes to say. And so we'll see you then. So be good to yourselves, be good to each other. And until we see each other again, always remember to tune in. Peace out.